Hey, thanks for stopping by Mystic Messages. If you're a returning viewer, thanks for stopping by again. If you're new, welcome. Today's message is going to be a little bit different. Today's message is actually for specific individuals who are questioning their faith and if miracles are true, if the afterlife exists. Today, through the intercession of one of my closest ascended masters, the Virgin Mary, would like to pass a message on uh, for these specific people who have been questioning their faith. And if this is you, you know who you are. And if this message doesn't apply, as always, let it fly. And you're always welcome to come back for the next message. Okay, so let's give it a start. Today, the Virgin Mary, Mother Mary, came through to me, and she had a very specific message for certain individuals. Now, when I say the Virgin Mary, I don't mean from a religious perspective. I do mean from a spiritual perspective. She is one of the ascended masters. She is the mother of Jesus Christ, who is an ascended master. uh, I do have a very close relationship with her. If anybody has read my bio in the beginning of this channel, I explained that I have a very close connection with the Virgin Mary. I've actually had an encounter with her when I was 5 years old, but we'll save that story for another time. Today's message is to help increase somebody's faith, to give them a little bit of hope, to show them that there are things that do exist. And you don't have to believe this. Again, this is my own personal situation that I want to share with everyone in hopes of, restoring their faith, possibly restoring their faith. I don't know if that's possible, but the Virgin Mary did want me to get this message out to these specific people who are going to be reading this today. Okay, so let's begin. First of all, if you're looking for deepening your root to spirituality, if you're questioning, if you're on the fence, especially those of the Christian faith, Catholic faith, I find a great way to start is through a book, and I'm going to show it to you, and I will leave the description in the description box of the book, and it is called um, Our Lady's Messages of Mercy to the World. Okay, now these, even though it is written by someone who is Catholic, uh, who is supposed to be passing along messages from the Virgin Mary, it really doesn't dive deeply into the Catholic dogma. It's more from a spiritual perspective, not a religious one. Okay, so you can get a close look at the book. I don't know if everyone can see that. Okay, I read this every other day. It's filled with messages, inspirational messages, and every day when I pray my rosary, which is something I do every morning during meditation, to receive these messages and to connect with uh, with the uh, the ethereal world. This is one of the books that I like to every once in a while open up and get a message from. It's very interesting the way it works. Basically, what you do is you are to just meditate over a question in your mind, open the book, and the book will lead you to a passage of guidance. And it's actually pretty interesting because the first time that I received this book, I actually didn't believe it uh, until I tried it and I asked a question and I was just, not too serious about it. And this was years ago. This book came to me. You could probably tell it's old. But the minute that I tried it and I received an answer, it kind of freaked me out and opened my eyes a little bit. It actually brought me and it deepened my spiritual path because this is the book that I began with. Now, secondly, I talked about the rosary that I use to pray with, and I'm going to show it to you. I'm also going to leave a description of this rosary of where I purchased it. And this is the very message that uh, the Virgin Mary wanted me to get out to everyone. Okay, and again, you don't have to believe this. Nothing was doctored with this rosary bead. Uh, I don't. Uh, I don't edit any of these messages, and I do that intentionally because what I was instructed to do was to put these messages out there, regardless of how they come out. I'm not to change anything because those who need to hear these messages will understand and they will receive them. Okay. Now these rosary beads come in a great little tin. I'm not trying to sell them to anyone. I'm just showing you. Now, when I purchased these in lapis lazuli because that is a stone that is for me, and I do not use these traditionally. But I don't know if you can tell. If you look at the large beads, see the large beads there? There's the small round bead, and there's that larger bead right in the center, which is what is normally known as the Our Father bead. Now, if you notice, it is a dark blue. That is not how I purchased this. Those large beads were white. And through years of using these, they have inexplicably turned a deep blue. And there's really no explanation for it. And I hope you can get a good look at that. And this is something that, Source and the Virgin Mary wanted me to put out there for those who are doubting their faith, to show you that miracles do exist in the strangest of places. If you look at these larger beads, they're in the process of turning. Okay, you can still see where they're a little white, but I'm going to leave the actual link to where you can purchase these beads, and you can see for yourself that the larger beads were originally white and not blue. This is one of the darker ones. I hope this is coming through clear. And these are the last two that are starting to change over. You can see that they're on the lighter side. The blue is not as deep. It's just beginning to turn. Now, there's no trick of lighting. I use no chemical. That's not what this channel is about. I actually can't tolerate lies of any kind from anything or anybody, especially myself, so I would never do that out here. But this message had to reach somebody who is struggling with their faith, somebody who's been waiting for a miracle and hasn't received it, although they've prayed. Now, the message I'm getting in response to that is, it has nothing to do with the prayer, okay? It has to do with the action behind the prayer. Are you putting action behind your prayers, or are you just asking for words? Are you only reaching out to the divine when you're in trouble? Or are you already in a relationship with the ethereal world? And whoever that might be, whether that's Mother Mary, Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, whoever that is, do you maintain your relationship, especially with the one God Almighty, the highest of all? Think about that. How is your relationship with God the Almighty, the one who controls everything, the one who oversees everything, the one who created everything? And yet, this very same spirit doesn't force us to come to him or her, whoever that may be. Because again, God is a spirit, and the spirit is within all of us. Okay? And so, even for myself, even though I do have this close communication with the divine, I don't know exactly what the divine looks like, and I don't think anybody really does. But all I know is I do have a great communication, and I keep that communication open daily, all day, on a daily basis. And that's in good times and in bad. Uh, there was times years ago where I struggled with that. That when things were going great, I forgot all about God, and then when things were going bad, they went bad, and I didn't understand why things weren't changing until I figured it out. I'm the one who had to change. We're the ones that have to change and meet the divine halfway. If we expect positive things in life, if we expect to see miracles, if we expect to see goodness, we have to meet the divine halfway in order to experience these things. And again, when we are waiting to experience these things, don't look for grand gestures, because that's not what it's about. This is not Hollywood. This is not about TV. It doesn't work that way. A lot of messages that we receive, we don't even realize it because they come from everyday people. Like I've explained before, we're God's mouth, we're God's hands. Okay, we're the hands and mouth of all the ascended masters, of all the angels, saints, and deities, and we're there to help them out in the physical. And we do our part, and they do their part. They inspire certain people, such as myself. They actually inspire everyone, not just myself, but not everybody's willing to listen to the calling or follow it through. And again, that's your own personal decision and your choice. We all have free will here, and like you have free will to watch this channel or to pass it by. It's up to you. It's your choice. I will never force anyone to watch my channel. I will never ask anyone to subscribe or to follow because it's their own personal choice. I work very much in the way of Christ consciousness. You're welcome to come with me on this journey, or you're welcome not to. It's your choice totally whatsoever. It has nothing to do with me. Either way is fine for me. Uh, Whatever makes you happy, whatever floats your boat, that's what you do. Again, so going back to the people who needed to hear this message, the response to you would be is, are you only asking because you're in trouble? Where have you been before? And if you want to see progress, you have to start making the changes within yourself. It all begins within us. You have to be willing to do the work, and eventually you will see the progress. It doesn't happen overnight. It's not going to happen instantly. I've been going through this a long time. And believe me, I've had a shitty road, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone, even my worst enemy. But, I digress. That's another story. We'll save that for another time when you get to know me a little better. Uh, I'm just here to help encourage people and guide them to the divine if they're willing, if they want to take this journey. And if not, they're welcome to hear these stories just as well. Doesn't matter. It's all about free will. It's all about you. As long as you're not hurting anyone or anything, that's all that matters. As long as everything you're doing is for your best and highest good, that's all Source asks for us. Now, every once in a while, Source will contact particular individuals to do a certain task. But again, it's not forced, you're asked to. And that's all a part of having faith. And that is the hardest part of faith you'll ever have when you're doing something that the divine is asking you to do. That don't feel right because you're worried that someone might not like what you have to say or they might call you crazy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what people think. What matters is that God gives us all a mission. And if God gives you a mission, even though you might face adversity, it doesn't matter because in the end, God will make sure that everything works out the way it's supposed to, even if we don't understand the full path ahead. Okay? So I'm going to leave you with that today. I thank you for stopping by. As always, please remember to check out the extra information that I place in the description box if you're interested. And again, I will leave a link for both the book and a picture of the original rosary bead so you can see for yourself what the color of the large Our Father bead was supposed to be. And hopefully, from what I understand, from what I was told, is that by you seeing this, whoever sees it, something will spark within them. A light will begin to shine, even if it's been dead for years. So I hope this message helps, and I hope it reaches the correct person or the correct people. And I wish you all a great day wherever you are, and we'll see you again next time. Take care.